Hey guys, it's your boy Pat. Welcome back to yet another episode of the Hollow Down Cigar Lounge. Sporting this with the swag over here is Mr. Chad.
How you doing?
I see what you're wearing, buddy. I like it. Heck yeah. Well, we are smoking what I think is going to be an interesting smoke today for this one. This is the Jake Wyatt Herbert Spencer. Again, I'll overlay this as we have learned with our lights. So, this is a 6x54 Toro, and I will have this video overlaid, but I'll show you this tip real quick. If the light, let me kill this long enough to hopefully show you this. The tip on that still ain't gonna focus, is it? There it goes. So, very ornate tip. Pretty good intro there on the visuals. Learned about Jake Wyatt at NFG a year or two ago, and yeah, it's even on the footband there that goes around.
Just a beautiful cigar.
It is. It looks fantastic.
I'm gonna light it
So
and find out.
it's a bad time for a lighter to not work.
I had that happen one time.
It happens.
Oops.
So did a V cut on this one. We'll see. I've had a lot of Jake Wyatts in their Corona size from events and such. This is the first time I've had this smoke in a full Toro. Curious to see what it does. So I'll light these up.
Yeah, I've
Feels
had
like
this cigar, one time, but I think it was what they call a Robusto, but it was a small ring gauge, so it was more like a Corona.
so. They have, as I'm looking at it, I'll read in a second. They have quite a few size options on this blend, as I do with several of theirs. Thicker rolled tobacco, so I'm giving it a little extra torch here to get going. There we go. So this, I'm pulling this info directly off of Jake Wyatt's website, which is jakewyattcigars.com. The Herbert Spencer, it's made with a San Andres Maduro wrapper. The binder and fillers are all Dominican. Says should be pretty smooth cigar with hints of spice, but they have 8 Vitolas for this. They have a Corona 5.5 44, a standard Robusto at 5 by 50, a Corona Gorda, roughly a 5.8 by 46. This is the Toro 6 by 54, a Bellicoso 6 by 52, standard Gordo 6 by 60, a Lancero of 7 by 38, and then they have a limited edition Figurado that is 7 by 64 ish. So definitely some options to pick from if you have a size preference. But tighter draw on this one than the smaller ring gauge, at least. Not
You
bad,
have
just
you
tighter.
having trouble with it or no?
No, not trouble. Just referencing that it's a little bit tighter, but it is not tight to the point of feeling plugged or anything of that nature.
Yeah, a lot of times you get a half inch into them, they open up too. So
Yep. See what it does. An immediate hit of almost like almond or hazelnut.
that's
Just subtle.
exact. I was thinking the same thing. I was trying to put my finger on what that taste was. It almost is mixed with like wood though too, like
In a
hazelnut
way, yeah.
and wood. It's a good flavor though. It's unique. It's not something I'm used to tasting, especially at light up. Usually you're tasting pepper.
Right. Usually you taste a lot of pepper at light up. That's where your tinge hit goes, and I'm It's different. I like it.
See, my draw is really good. Might just have a little tighter one.
Maybe so. I mean, the construction does feel very firm. Um,
Mine's firm too, yeah.
like a standard roll, but it's good. It's the construction feels good in the hand. So anxious to see how it burns. Said I haven't had this one in the full Toro, so
I was going to throw That's What She Said in there, but
where's
um,
Justin?
yeah, you know he wouldn't have missed that one. I was trying to see what
Mm-mm.
kind of bunching they use. I can't tell, but it almost looks accordion. But
Like
I should have looked at the foot before I lit it, and I didn't.
I know I was just thinking the same thing. It looks like
It almost looks like a hybrid.
yeah, it's not straight accordion. It's like it started with accordion, and then it was just
Yeah, it almost
clean
looks like
rolled
some kind of
after.
hybrid, um, which I like accordion. Anything it's accordion style bunched, it seems like it smokes better for me. Easier draw usually.
So you get really good clean draws off of it.
I don't
But
know what I did to my wrapper here, but I don't know if you'll be able to pick this up. There's a couple little spots on my wrapper that, like the leaf delaminated a little bit, but
just the hair.
yeah, but it's not gonna hurt anything. But like it flaked off, must be. This wrapper must be pretty thin.
Which I wouldn't expect from a San Andreas, but
Right. Usually San Andreas is like sandpaper,
right.
nice and thick.
But on this one,
It's
the
possible. Possible they patched it too. Like
it is
some
possible.
companies will patch, some companies won't.
But the extra visual wrap on this one, it's not like a true double wrapper like some of the ornates from Cigar Bundles Miami do. This is just on this, at least on this blend, it's just enough on the cap and what was on the foot for visual purposes. It's not really double wrap or anything. So that San Andreas should be the prominent feel we get.
Yeah, if you don't know anything about Jake Wyatt cigars, which I don't know a ton, other than I've smoked, I don't know, 5 or 6 of the blends. Probably smoked through almost all of them, but they're visually stunning. Like I really think they're sexy cigars,
Absolutely.
and everyone I've smoked has performed well. Construction's been good. I had some I liked more than others, and this being the one that I liked, I think the most so far. I've smoked more of the Herbert Spencer than I have the other ones. The one I haven't tried though is the green one, the Lucid, right? It's like,
Lucid interval.
is that the green one? We were thinking about that the other day. I
Yeah,
think
that's
that's
the
wrong. I think the Lucid Interval is a different cigar.
no, because that's let me make sure because I other side up, but I'm pretty sure that and they do have about 10 blends, so I want to make sure we are
The
stating the right name
Candela
here.
was, I think, something
Yep.
else. I
Nope.
had it
It is
wrong.
it's the lucid interval.
Okay,
Yep.
and that's the one. Didn't we put that in the box? We throw that in the box for the show later.
Yeah, we're gonna throw that one mostly, if we're being honest, because when James Garcia was on, he referenced that um, that is one of his top selling candelas up there. So I think that one, the Feathered Serpent, and there was a outside of the St. Patty's Day specials, it was something else, but he referenced it being a top seller. So we're gonna bring that on
Yeah,
the show later and smoke it.
most of those St. Patty's Day sticks are money grabs, I think.
Yeah, there's a few good ones, but most of them tend to be. But hey, it works, so that's what they do. But as a company, Jake Wyatt is out of California, and I didn't know this till I looked on the website, but Jake Wyatt is actually named for the owner's two sons, Jake and Wyatt.
Hmm.
So I always thought it was his name. It's not. It's his son's two names put together.
His name's like Larry Brown or something. It's just
Yeah, I'm
some
actually
vanilla
not
name.
even. I'm actually not even sure because on their, and I'm sure I could dig and look it up, but on their info, they just reference the son's names. So it doesn't actually, All it says, for 2 decades, our individual journeys have encompassed the world of professional baseball and firefighting. This brought us to launch our shared passion of Jake Wyatt Cigar Company, named after each of our sons. So I guess that's the two owner sons, is what I'm looking at.
So one of them was a baseball player, possibly?
That's what I'm wondering.
I wonder who it was. That's pretty cool.
Now I'm super intrigued. See, you find stuff live that you didn't think you would know that you're going to find.
Right. My son was at a baseball game today. He skipped school and went to the Tigers-Yankees game. So, he's a senior, so they were actually, in his defense, they were taking SATs today at school, so they were just going to put all the seniors in the gymnasium for 4 hours and do nothing. So he's like, "Can I go to the baseball game?" I'm like, "Yeah, for sure." So his buddy's mom has like a small season package, not a whole season, but it's like a partial season package. So they had tickets, and heck yeah, go have fun.
Huh. So here's a little tidbit talking about Jake Wyatt. So the two owners are Neil Garcia and Gerard Abajian. Forgive me if I've pronounced that incorrectly.
I'm sure you did.
I probably did.
100%.
Abajian. And Jake and Wyatt are their two sons. Abajian's family has been in retail for over 30 years with his father, Mardo, who you'll recognize because he started Mardo Cigars.
So this is the son of Mardo Cigar?
This is the son, one of the owners is the son of Mardo Cigars.
Okay. Gerard, isn't it Gerard Mardo? Isn't that his name?
Yeah, Gerard Mardo.
Yeah.
And
but he can't be that old then, because Gerard is like probably just a bit older than I am. So this the son must be in his 30s or something, huh? Must be pretty young.
all of
like you in his 30s.
Right, maybe. All of the regular production is made in Tamboree, Dominican Republic. And the Garcia's family, Neil Garcia, and it doesn't say much, is their family is in baseball. Well, that's interesting. So their boxes are boxes of 22, with the exception of the LE that's a box of 10. But all their standard boxes have 22 cigars in them, which is a reference.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Bless you, homie.
You did that earlier.
The 22 sticks in each box is a reference by the jersey number that was worn by 3 generations of ball players. But it doesn't say more detail than that. So I'd have to go on an even deeper dive. But so you got a baseball player and the son of Mardo Cigars that came together.
That's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. And, Mardo's a pretty upstanding, online cigar retailer as well. It's one that I use periodically.
Yeah, they're big. I bought some stuff from them in the past for sure. Never had a bad experience with them.
No. Got to put my other light up here because it is what it is.
Are you getting rings under your eyes?
Yeah. Said the only light out here is directly above me, so I have to put little lights in front of me. Similar to what you do.
Yeah, I've got one above me too.
And this first, let me. So the draw opened up just a tad, but the intro on this ash is very promising.
I knocked mine off already, but
I mean it's. I don't know if it's gonna let you see that or not. The hand trick doesn't always work.
Oh yeah, I can see it. It looks good.
Yeah. Super
nice
smooth.
Straight burn line too.
Very straight burn line. Very smooth. Which is what they referenced, that it was, this was more of a smoother blend. So when I first smelled it, and I referenced it to you before we recorded, that I thought maybe it was going to be maybe a fuller or stronger blend just on the way it smelled, and
Hmm.
and I thought it may be strong. And I know sometimes you get the smaller Vitolas that's stronger because of the wrapper, but the way this smelt, I thought this one was going to be stronger. It's definitely not. It is very, very smooth.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's what I remembered of it. But I've never had it in Toro ever. I've always smoked it. So you have the sizes on there because I think their Robusto size is strange.
So
Can you
they've
look at the
well,
actual size?
yeah. So I rattled them off very quickly, but they have a true robusto that is 5 by 50,
Yeah,
but
that's not
their
what I smoked.
Corona, what they call a Corona Gorda. So they have
That's
their
probably
regular,
what I was smoked. Was the Corona
probably
Gorda.
so, because the standard Corona is 5.5 by 44. The standard robusto is 5 by 50, but their Corona Gorda is 5 5/8 by 46,
I was gonna
which
say 46 or 48 was what I
which
remember
is very
smoking.
close to, if you're grabbing it quick, it's gonna look like a weird robusto. So
Yep. I've smoked quite a few of those actually. Justin got me. He sent me a couple. Well, it's been almost 2 years ago now, or year and a half. I don't know. Was it would have been NFG last year
yeah,
because they weren't
so
even there this year, were they?
no, I didn't see them.
Yeah. So he sent them to. He sent them to me about a year. We say a
Yeah,
year and a
but
quarter. But
yeah,
so that was my first ever Jake Wyatt, and then I went out and bought a couple more of the exact same cigar that he gave me, and so I must have bought the Corona Gorda,
probably
and I
so.
bought about three of them. I smoked through all those, and then since then um, I went to BL because BL has
Hmm.
almost every blend on their website, and I bought I don't know, a dozen or so more, 5 or 6 different blends. So, but this one is my favorite, I think, so far. But I haven't tried the Lucid Interval, which is the Candela. I tried one the other day and I didn't love it. And it's the one that doesn't have the standard, this Jake Wyatt logo that he puts on every single band.
Is that the
Lithium, maybe? They have one or two cigars that
yeah? So
don't
the
follow
the
the same branding.
lithium has the small pigtail, but that the band it actually has Li like the periodic table. Um, um, is it
They have another one that doesn't have the standard following the
the
same.
Icarus does not. That's got. I'm not sure how to describe that. It's almost like an angel with the sun at its back, sort of.
Well, this one didn't
That's
have any pictures on it at all. So
okay.
somebody I think told me that I need to try that Icarus. Is that a little more expensive?
I'm about to go look because I'm on their website still, and of course you don't have the pricing on here. But you probably smoked the lithium. The lithium I've had, it's decent. It's not my favorite.
I wasn't impressed. Like I was like, it's okay.
The fourth dimension and appendix I both had are pretty good. Well, the appendix two, which we've referenced before because we're not sure what happened to the first appendix.
Yeah. So he sold it. Yeah,
We sold it.
I have had that one now, but I haven't. I might not have had the fourth dimension yet. I do have one though in my humidor.
Let's see. So this cigar, let's find. Since we're in the Mardo family, as we have recently learned, I went to Mardo to look at pricing. I felt that was appropriate. So the Herbert Spencer and the Toro is 1180 a piece, which quick scan almost all of their cigars. They are pretty consistent with pricing.
Yeah,
Most of the Robustos are $10 to $10.5. Most of the
90.
Toros 11 to 12. So they're all right there in that ballpark.
Yeah, when I like on BL, they're all between $9 and $13
Mm-hmm.
for the most part. But they do have that. We talked about this before too. They have that one that's shaped like a BBMF, and I can't remember which blend it came in. Remember when we talked about this on the show and you looked it up on the show?
I know.
It's like a big
Oh,
plume on top, and it has
that
the
is actually
Is it the
It's
Herbert
technically
Spencer
the Herbert
blend?
Spencer, but it's the LE.
Yeah. It's like $17, and it's just a
Yeah,
gorgeous cigar.
yeah. Marto's got it for 18, but it looks sick. So probably the same blend. Just what they do is instead of um, and I'll post a picture of this. It's instead of the decorative ring up here, it's kind of got like a slow spiral all the way down, but it's the same blending on the same Herbert Spencer.
It reminds me of the Opus X BBMF
Mm-hmm.
mold because it looks almost identical. I'm not sure how they didn't get Fuente is.
Right.
Surprised they didn't come after them for some kind of copyright infringement from their mold or something.
As we've talked about on the show with somebody else, they're prone to that. So
They have a lot of money and a lot of lawyers that are just looking for stuff
they
to do.
do. Well, pulled as we've done frequently, back on Dr. Pepper kick for this one.
There you go. I had one earlier. I'm on water now.
Oh, look at you being healthy.
Yeah.
I drink a lot of water, but I don't drink near as much as I should.
Me either, man. That's something I struggle with. Just something else always sounds better.
Exactly. But that's true in almost every food or drink item. It's the healthier means no flavor. So
Right.
is
Well, I
what it
mean,
is.
some people are like that though. Like my daughter, she's 16 and she literally won't drink soda. Like she drinks water all the time.
I know a few people that don't, but I mean, I go between, I'll have my water, but I'll have a lot of sodas. I'll have a lot of sweet tea. I'll have a whole lot of fruit juice. I'll hit the Tampicos. I'll hit the Minute Maids. Like, I'm all over the place.
So is sweet tea a Texas thing or a Louisiana thing or both?
Both. It's Southern in general.
Yeah. You get down past a certain point and that's all you're
Hmm.
getting. If you order tea, it's coming sweet.
Yeah, you can order unsweet here, but it's very heavy on the sweet tea.
But what
Like,
if I walk in and say, give me an iced tea? What am I going to get?
they're gonna ask you sweet or unsweet. They're
Oh,
not.
okay. I
They're
just thought
gonna
they
ask
brought
you.
the sweet unless you asked for
No,
unsweet.
no. They'll ask because most places do have both. It's just probably 80-90% of the sales are going to be sweet tea. And like me, I like if I'm doing cold tea, I want it sweet. If I'm doing hot tea, then I just like the generic unsweet hot tea like you would anywhere else. But
But you
I
like it like just regular black tea? You don't drink, like, if I have hot tea, it's got to be flavored like
I
cinnamon
I like
something,
all hot tea, so
orange.
I'm all over the place with tea too. I'll do black tea, I'll do jasmine tea, green tea, orange pico. Like I just like hot tea in general, so I like all of it. If I'm being honest.
My wife is a huge tea drinker, and she will only drink it just virgin. It has to be black tea. Like her iced tea has to be just like plain old Lipton. And
Right?
then for hot tea, it's just Lipton black tea or something that's orange pico is a black tea.
Yep.
Anything, it can't have any flavoring in it at all. So, but me
And
with like iced tea, I can't drink it regular. I have to have it sweet or I
yeah,
won't like
same.
it. So,
You make it cold and it's weird. It just doesn't seem to work right. I gotta have it sweetened.
yeah, I suppose I could drink a hot tea, just a plain black hot tea, before I could drink cold iced tea.
Yep.
I think it tastes like a dish rag.
See, that's what Ellen does. Every time I drink it, she'll turn her nose up and says it's dirty leaf water.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't do tea and she doesn't like coffee for the same reason. Like, but
Yeah,
it's not
mine
her
won't
thing.
drink. My wife won't drink coffee, but she drinks tons of tea. I
And
can't
I
live
usually
without
don't
coffee.
flavor my tea every once in a while, especially on like I guess we'll say bolder teas, like your straight blacks and your old grays and stuff like that. I'll put I'm talking a touch of honey in it, but that's usually about all I do.
For hot tea, you mean?
Yeah, for hot tea.
Yeah, I could see that. And I could see people, and like the English people, put sugar cubes in it too. I could see doing
Yep.
that. Yeah, for sure.
And
But
honey's good for your immune system anyway. Now I'm sure not at that amount. It's probably not doing anything, but
Right. Yeah, they say if you eat local honey from your region, it helps you with your allergies. Like
it
you
does.
buy local honey and consume it. You have to consume more than a teaspoon a month, but you
Yeah, I
know,
think they say if you
one
to
a day
really
or
help
something.
is like a teaspoon a day or something like that. Which a
Hmm.
lot of people are religious on that. They'll get, and we have a lot of beekeepers down here in the south with all the floral plains and everything. So you get there's a lot of people that are like I say they're religious on it. They'll eat that teaspoon of honey every day, but you don't see them sick very often either. So you
Yeah,
know,
allergies for me are the big thing. Like right now,
hmm
Michigan ragweed's coming out, and I had like a an episode today. Like as soon as spring breaks and the ragweed comes up, like I just have a rough couple weeks ahead of me. So today was day one. So
yeah, it's my birthday being in April. It's my annual gift to myself is an allergy bout, and I take allergy pill all year long.
me
But
too.
it don't matter. About time my birthday hits, it's gonna hit for a couple weeks every single year.
Yeah, I have a spell which is right now starting for me. Typically, sometime in early April and then sometime in the fall. So I always have a spring and fall session, just like you're describing, of a
Yep.
week or two where everything's just got me sensory overload and my body can't handle it and just starts dumping.
And what's absolutely crazy is Northwest Louisiana now grew up in East Texas, more or less the same region. I never had allergies growing up unless I was actually sick. Got in the Marines, spent 4 years in San Diego where there's nothing but rocks, sand, water, and palm trees. There's no pollen, or almost practically no pollen. Not enough. There's no pollen storms or nothing like we have here. And I guess I lost my youthful acclimation because when I got back in 2012, that first year, I got very bad allergies, and I've had it every year since, and I haven't gotten off of it. But I never really had it much growing up.
Yeah, I've been taking an allergy pill every day for 25 years.
Yep.
So I
And
actually
every
have to switch mine too. Do you have to switch yours?
I was just about to say every about every 3 or 4 years I have to change because I'll my body will get used to it and it stops working. So I'll rotate through about 4 or 5 different ones.
Yep,
So every
I go about once a year. I'll go through. Uh, Usually I buy like 200 count bottles, and if I go through two of them and I just switch. So
yeah.
right now I'm taking Zyrtec or generic Zyrtec. That one, and then I use the one that's the Allegra, and
Yep.
then the one that's the Claritin. Those are the
Yep.
three I go through. So
Allegra and Zyrtec work the best for me. There's one I'm on now that I can't tell you. I forget. It's one of the. It's probably number 4 or 5 on the list. I'd have to go back and look because it's the generic version. I forget what name brand it is anymore. But I have to do the same thing. I have to rotate.
yep, after a while you kind of just build an immunity to it and
Yep.
switch it up a little bit.
I'll tell you, Dr. Pepper works very well with this, which I know we say a lot, but maybe
It
because
works.
it works so well.
It works with every cigar, I swear.
It's like, but this one just being smooth, and I know Dr. Pepper works really good with anything that's got any type of nutty tone to it. That balances very well. This is burning like a champ.
I had a little run coming on mine, but I touched it up earlier and it happened again. But I might just have a weird leaf in there or something. But it's smoking fine.
Probably so.
I'll touch it up and get it back to
Mine's not
square.
razor even, but man,
Mine's
it's a
running.
95% clean burn. Oh yeah, just on that one side.
I don't want it to get away from me, so I'm gonna hit it with the torch.
Man, this is I'm glad we did this one. There's not a lot of talking points, which not all of our cigars have a whole lot of talking points. Some are just good or they're not. And this one's got just enough flavor for conversation, but this would make for a very good pairing cigar. Like if you're talking any type of whiskey or bourbon, or probably even a wine for that matter, because most of your cigars that are better for the sodas are your darker cigars, have a lot of pepper that you need that citrus or acid note to break up. This one makes me think that it would pair with just about anything because it's going to be really accepting of those extra notes. I think
Yeah,
it's very
see
very
that for
smooth. It's
sure.
very elegant.
You can
Not even
tell
just
that tobacco is well aged because it doesn't have any pungent uh, recall, I guess I'd call it, where you can
right.
taste, any kind of, I don't know, it's not zingy, it's not hoppy, it's smooth because it's aged. You can taste the age on it. It's definitely good tobacco.
Which goes with a lot of your palate because the binder and filler, I don't know what it is. They just have Dominican listed, and I know how you are with Dominican tobacco.
Yeah, you can tell there's a little bit of floral. I mean, there's that. I don't know if it's the binder or the filler, but it's a good cigar. I
Very,
do think I like it better in the Corona Gorda format, though.
I'm undecided at this point.
This is my
I'm
first
on the
time with it in
fence.
the Toro. I think I like it better in Corona Gorda.
I
I
feel
think it
like
was for me. It was I got wrapper and binder were kind of more star in the smaller ring gauge, and I think
which
that
makes
may be why
sense.
I liked it more.
Probably so, just because you're going to have a higher percentage of filler on the bigger one, so that would make sense. If it's just a little bit more flavorful in the smaller ring gauge, you get more of that wrapper in there.
It's a little smoother like this, though. I think
Mm-hmm.
I remember it being not. It wasn't overly spicy at all. Just a touch more spicy in the smaller ring gauge too, which that's kind of common. So
Right. It's good though. Definitely. If you're not a if you're not a fan or don't know much about Jake Wyatt, this is a good place to start though.
1,000% you should try Herbert Spencer. It's
Mm-hmm.
definitely worth smoking, especially for $11 or whatever it is. These cigars, I think, all smoke way above their weight. Like they smoke better than the price tags.
I agree. $12 cigar could easily be 15 or 16. Don't tell them that. I like the prices where they are, but
Well, you could put a different band on there and charge 20 for it all day long.
right,
So,
right.
but that's the good thing about their model. I mean, they're whatever they figured out, they're putting out great product that's got age on it because you can tell this tobacco has been aged.
Yeah,
And they're
that
doing it for
fermentation is
11,
gone.
12,
It's
11,
not there
12
at all.
bucks. Right. You don't get that punchy, stingy fermentation that you get from a lot of the brands that I won't mention, but um,
Right.
they're pushing stuff out too fast.
Mm-hmm. Well, on a visual note, I didn't say this last show, just kind of went with it. If you noticed, slight visual change on the show here. Got our name in a very subtle background, so just a light
Oh.
little extra touch on there.
And I got these little squiggly things that I drew down here.
Yeah. So
Drew those myself.
yeah, Chad's the artist of the group.
Yep. Not hardly.
Nah,
I
I'm
can draw
a
a
great
stick
stick
man.
figure.
That's me
Same.
too. I'm
I got
terrible.
a couple people in my family that are fantastic artists. I am not one of them.
Is Ellen a good artist?
I don't know. She never really she's crafty, but she doesn't really draw. So
Have
um,
you seen those? The reason I ask is I think these things are hilarious. There's a trend on TikTok where the husband and wife draw each other or paint each other rather,
huh.
draw or paint, but and you don't let them see it until you're done, and the reveal is the funny part. Like
Oh, I
the
could see
the
that being
woman
hilarious.
is usually the woman usually has a pretty good rendition of her husband, and then the
Mm-hmm.
husband draws this almost scary monster, like just because they're so terrible. And mine would end up looking like that, I guarantee it. So, and my wife is actually a pretty good artist. She went to college and she or either her major or minor was in art, so she used to do a lot of painting and drawing and stuff, so she's got a hand for it, which I don't. So
That is
I keep telling her we
not
should
my
do that.
thing. Like my mother especially, that was one of the things like she excelled in was just freehand art, and I tried and tried, just not my thing. You give me the technical side of things, the audio, the video, the multimedia. Put me on almost any sports field or court you want to, and I'm game. Artistic side,
Some people are just built for that.
yeah, and that's like
They,
even with our Mardi Gras group now, when we're taking care of our float and our decorations for the parties throughout the year, I will be your handyman all day long. But you ask me to draw or make or create something pretty, ain't gonna happen.
right. You need construction, you need something carried, you got.
Damn right.
Yep. Yeah, that's how I am too. No art for me, for sure. Man, this thing is running again. I'll
What
say
if you got
that's
a
kind
bad
of
leaf or something there? Or
it's kind of a disappointment because I touched it up
oh wow,
and it's running
that's
again.
complete contrast to what I'm getting. I mean, look at this thing. It's just
I've never had one run on me like this, but I've never smoked a Toro. But I can say with this probably 6 or 7 I've smoked, they've all been perfect.
um,
Um, so
they are
yeah,
man-made products, so
yeah, you never know. Just
never know,
that guy had a bad day.
right? Well, it's a man-made product out of an organic product, so you're kind of human error.
You,
Plus, you can't completely control, you know, your combustion on that leaf just may not be firing right, and that's nothing you can do about that.
you ever hear about people talk um, about buying a Friday car or a Monday car? Like they say
Yeah,
that the cars that are built on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday are the best. And the
right.
cars on Friday, people are ready to leave, and cars on Monday, nobody wants to be there. So I wonder
Yeah,
if in the cigar world, if there's cigars like that too, like the Monday cigars or the I got a Monday cigar, you got a Wednesday cigar.
right. Somebody's rolling a cigar, thinking about what they're doing this coming weekend.
Right. Or Monday, they're still trying to shake off this weekend, hungover or whatever.
Hungover, too much tequila on Sunday night, and it's still there.
I would guess that what's going on with this is I got some kind of a stem issue in there because the way it's stopping the burn, and then right now I've got a little bit of a plug draw, but it's not anything I can't work around. But I think that's what's going on. It must be a
Just
stem
enough
in
to
there or
affect it,
something.
probably.
Yeah, it's causing it to run and draw just a little funny. It was drawing great earlier, and then kind of slowed down now. So I'll
I'm
let it sit
having
for a minute.
I'm having to pace myself because I want to chug this thing because it's so clean and smooth.
Yeah, that's what I was doing too.
It's probably
You got
burning
some.
faster than it should be because I can't stop puffing on it, even
I
in
probably
between me talking.
I probably was smoking a little fast too. That might be part of it. Get it overheated.
Yep.
What's on the agenda for this weekend?
This weekend is
Work?
this weekend is work.
No, that's not good.
So the whole every other weekend debacle. So nothing crazy this weekend. I got some training at work and then just more work. So
Yeah, this weekend for me, I'm going to PCA. You know that.
oh yeah,
You forgot though, didn't you?
I did.
I'm so looking
And
forward to it.
of course, as we do delay editing, by the time this edits, you'll have been returned, and hopefully, we have some good stories from the weekend from you. So,
I'm hoping that I'm not an idiot and I actually get some pictures of things because it's like my biggest downfall is I go to all these cool places and I never take any pictures or anything. Come
it's
home,
like
I have nothing but stories, no pictures.
Justin and I talked about with the first two events we went to together after we met. We took one picture together at the intro and then forgot to take anything else, and we were trying to talk about it. And we're like, dude, we didn't take jack crap. And this year we took some, but they had at NFG they had a photographer there taking, so we were able to just scalp some of those. But you get in the moment, and as much as I am a media person and try to take pictures,
Yeah.
get in the moment and forget.
Yeah, or sometimes it's like it's weird, or like, oh, you don't want to be that guy, or whatever. But for whatever reason, I've never been good at, like, my wife and I'll take our kids to, Disney World. We have like one picture of the whole trip. It's like, we've always been horrible picture takers.
I know I,
Kids are off doing sporting events. We got one picture of them at one age. Like they did that for 3 years like that. We only got one picture of them. Yeah. Okay. Well,
I'm,
fair enough.
I'm trying to get better since the last few years of me and Ellen being together. Every time we go on a trip, I'll tell like, hey, we're going to take pictures because we started. And I'm a little behind on putting these together, but we started making the Shutterfly books of every like major vacation, which means I need to get pictures.
Yeah, you have to get
So
pictures for that.
right. So we start the trip, and I just put myself like pictures. Everything we do, picture. I'd take too many pictures. If I don't like it, I can delete it. But it's better than not having any. And so doing the knowing that I'm going to come back from the trip and make this book almost puts it in the back of my mind that I need to get some damn pictures. So
Yeah, we could have a Shutterfly book of all of our vacations in one book. Just get about 2 for this one, 3 for that one. We've been a little better lately, but just one of those things when we've never been good picture takers.
and we talked about starting from when we got together. Having a book for like each one of our major trips. Each one of our cruises. Obviously, there's a lot of pictures, and there's plenty of stuff that goes around that event from the time that we leave till the time we return. Even if it's not just cruise related, that's a vacation trip book. But we started, and I'm actually going back through all my pictures that are in like Google Photos and stuff for every year, like the calendar year that we're together. Just make like a generic memory book for the year. You know, Obviously, I'm not going to double include a cruise trip that's got its own book, but trying to go through. And so I'm trying to get better at like just throughout the course of the year, taking little pictures of stuff that we do too, so I can put in there. And it's
Yeah.
because you get in the moment now. Like, man, I don't want to ruin the moment. But then 10 years later, you're trying to get a memory, and it's kind of cool to go back and look. And I like the Shutterfly idea because we're on a digital world now. Most people don't do printed photo albums anymore. We're so reliant on digital, but at some point, those servers could crash.
Oh, yeah.
And you lose everything. So putting something in a printed book, and if Shutterfly ever dies as a company, I'm sure somebody else will do something similar or
Well,
whatever.
there's
But trying
already
to
7 companies doing similar right now.
right. I mean, there's several out there doing that sort of thing. Just putting it back in print format, I can put on the shelf. So, you know, everybody relies now on Facebook, which has been a thing for 20 years now. But I still remember before that, MySpace was the end all be all. And you see what happened. It just died. Nobody does
Oh,
anything with
yeah,
it.
for sure.
So,
Yeah, and I have a lot of, like, to your point, I have a lot of pictures on Facebook
mm-hmm.
that are just in my profile that I would want to keep. I probably should download them.
And, I download, and I need to do this now that we're talking about it. But I have Dropbox. I put everything in there, and then every couple of months, slacking lately, I've got an external hard drive. I'll hook up, download it, and disconnect it. So if anything happens, it's not connected, and I can always go back and pull it. And
Right.
got a lot of updating I need to go back and back that up. But
Well, if we ever lose Facebook, I figure, like, well, my family's made it this long with 19 pictures of the family, so we'll be okay.
right,
19 total.
it's like most families have a photo album. You have like a church bulletin. That's all you need.
That's about it, yeah. Yeah, it's not extensive, let's say that. I think we've probably got some thumb drives of some pictures of some old cameras that we had, but shoot, in the last, I don't know, 4 or 5 years, I can't tell you we've taken 100 pictures.
Right.
We're terrible parents, man. C minus at best. That's what we tell our kids all the time.
C minus parents.
C minus parents. Sorry about your luck. That was the draw. You got us.
Right.
They tell us it's not true, but they say it's not true. But C plus maybe.
What I know about you, good people, so they're lucky.
Well, yeah, thanks for saying so. They're good kids. They're turning out all right, hopefully. My son just made his college decision. I don't know if I told you that. So that was big news for him. He was kind of wavering on whether he's going to go to community college here or go to a
I
university.
think the
And
last time we talked is when you referenced he was trying to decide which way to go. I don't think we've talked about it since.
yeah, we're actually going to a meeting at the university for the financial aid meeting to start looking at all the payments and loans and all that stuff. So we'll do that next week on the 17th. So,
Nice.
which will be way after this thing airs,
Right.
but yeah. So he's excited about that. I'm excited for him. He's only got like 40 days of school left, and
Yeah,
he'll
we're
be
getting
happy.
there.
Yeah. And I got one more to get out of the house, and I say that like he's leaving. He's going to probably commute. So because the university he's going to is less than 5 miles from our house. So
Oh, that's super convenient.
yeah. So we'll save a little money in that regard because the tuition's expensive, but not paying for room and board. So
I did the same thing. I started some college classes while I was active duty, but I couldn't actually go because I went active duty. So when I got out, went and actually finished college, and I just went to the state college that's here in town. You know, it's the Shreveport branch of LSU. I mean, it was like 6 or 7 miles from the house where I lived at the time.
yep,
I mean, got the
save all that
classes you
money.
want, the education you need. You know,
That's right. Yeah, nobody really cares what the piece of paper says when you're all done with it.
right? It's like about the only ones that really have extra weight are, like the Ivy Leagues and the MIT. If you're not going full tilt, going that level, the rest of it
Mhm.
doesn't really matter. And some of that doesn't even matter. Depend, like
Yeah,
you
I
got to
mean,
be.
if you're specialized in something, there's different universities for special. I mean, my son wants to go into education, so you can become a teacher at any college in America. I mean,
Right.
honestly,
Yep.
there's no secret to that. If you're going to be a doctor, a lawyer, or something, then sure,
Hmm.
going to Michigan or one of those more, revered schools for certain things is probably looked upon better. But
For the rest of it, not much of a.
yeah. I mean, if you're going to be an educator or something like that, it's a pretty general group of
That
studies to begin with.
that came off so clean.
Yeah, I took mine off too. It came right off, no wrapper problems.
That is a great band right there. Let's
I
say
love
I
the
got.
band on too. The bands are sexy. I like this logo. I don't know if you can see it or not.
Yeah, we'll flip this up.
All right. That's
Yeah, I
pretty
like.
much the one they carry across all of most of their
Yep.
line, like
Yep.
5 or 6 of their blends, and I like the look of it. It's
Yeah,
clean.
there's only a couple that are different, and but I like it. It's clean. It's got the letters of the two names. I like it a lot.
It's a good looking band.
And
So when did they come out? Did you say that? Like how long have they
oh, you know what?
been
I didn't actually
a
look, to
company?
be honest, and I'm not 100%.
My introduction to them was a year and a half ago, but I don't know that they're 10 years old or 5 years old.
Yeah, that's I first learned about them at NFG in 2024. So I mean, I'm right there. I pretty much learned about them about 3 days before you did because you learned about them when Justin sent you some stuff, and I learned about them when he learned about them.
Yeah.
So um,
What a great thing to have someone in the industry already. Like, because um, Marto, I mean, he's a pretty big online retailer, and he has to have lots of contacts, right? So
right.
um, that's got to be helpful if you're trying to start a brand new cigar brand, and you have one guy will champion your your brand for sure coming out of the gate, right? And then,
Well, this looks like they started in 2020.
really, it's about 5 years then, huh?
So it looks like there's
I
Half Wheel
like it.
posted February of 2020 that the company officially launched on February 10th once they had their
Jeez,
first.
it's
So
basically they launched on COVID.
yeah, literally launched in the middle of COVID, and it said they already had their cigars ready. So they had, at that point they already had them ready to ship. So I'm sure that they spent at least a couple years getting their first blends and everything ready. But they straight up officially launched dead center of OG COVID.
That was like the very beginning too, because I remember
Mm-hmm.
February. Like, stuff still wasn't crazy in February. It wasn't until March.
Right.
That's when we had all the lockdowns and shutdowns and stuff.
Because I got my bout of what we now know as COVID in January. It had been over here since
My son did too.
it. The virus and everything been over here since the end of 19, which is where the COVID-19 part comes from. But we didn't. They
Yeah,
weren't. They didn't have all the markers, and I think my discharge papers from the ER that day just said. I think it said unknown respiratory illness or something like that, and
yeah.
then a couple months later, those markers matched what they were linking to COVID. But
My son had he got it too, and he didn't get it at this time. But what happened was he was on the wrestling team, and at the end of December, beginning of January, there was 28 kids on the team, and 8 of them came to practice for a whole week.
oh wow,
So the other 20, I'm guessing, had COVID. Like, it's something that hit and took 20 of them out like immediately. Like the 28 were there, and then
yep,
like 18, and then like 8, like within 2 or 3 days, boom. And so they got down to 8 kids, and my son still, he didn't get sick until later. We were on a trip and came back, and he was sick in like the end of January, beginning of February. But he
it
has what we
spread quick when it first
didn't
hit
know
too.
was COVID until then either, right? But yeah, it was crazy how fast it spread. Well, I mean, we know how fast it spreads now, but
Right.
that's worse than it spread worse than the flu for sure. Nobody knew what it was, right?
Yeah, that was the biggest problem. We didn't, and even when they had theories, they had to work out how to treat it properly. So for them to launch that company in the middle of it and not fail because of
Yeah,
everything, that that
that's
says something
crazy.
too. Whether it's just good company, resiliency, or just sheer damn determination, either way, they worked through it and still putting out damn good cigars.
Yeah, you think about that. There's one thing you wouldn't want to do is start a business in the beginning of a pandemic. Like,
Right.
but you know what? Like, to be fair, there was a cigar boom in
There
2020.
was,
That's when I started smoking again. Was
and
then.
that's like Ian from Dapper said that when we had him on, that there was an
There's online
unsuspecting.
retailers just killed it.
Yep.
People were all sitting home with nothing to do. Next
And
thing you know,
you're making money, still having to go to work. The companies that work from home, you're still getting your income, but you're spending less on fuel and trips because nobody wanted to go anywhere. So you've got all this extra money for online shopping. And if you're a cigar smoker, what are you gonna buy? You know,
hmm
if you can't do anything, I mean, we do it. If I'm at home and I can't go anywhere, I'm probably gonna pull out a cigar. So you know,
yep, yeah,
and
for
in a
sure.
weird way, that's one industry. I guess it helped out a little bit.
Yeah, there was a lot of weird industries like that. Like, you remember how Peloton took off like crazy?
Oh my goodness,
Like,
work
they're
out from
almost
home.
destitute. They're almost destitute now. But they like it. They couldn't sell. They couldn't make Pelotons fast enough.
Everybody was getting one, so that way they could stay active and still stay as connected as possible with other people.
Online tech stuff like Zoom went crazy. All those platforms where you could,
Yep.
remotely meet, things like that. Those stocks went through the roof.
But
There was a lot of good business pushed during COVID, but it just hurt a lot of the small personal businesses, right?
right, and your online remote video conferencing stuff like this. I mean that changed how we do a lot of things because beforehand it was there as needed, but it was more for like work projects. Now it's just the normal thing.
It's a way of life now.
It's
Yeah.
way of life. You get on and I mean, as much as we talk, most of our conversations are through remote video now, whether it's doing the show or we're just doing virtual sessions to get together. I mean, it's just what we all
Right.
do now. You're able to get face to face without actually being face to face. It's just our normal thing.
It's very convenient and it's very cool. I mean, I love it.
It is.
It's opened a lot of doors for people that even like FaceTime. People didn't use FaceTime 5, 6, 7 years ago, right? But
Everybody does
everybody
that.
now uses it, right? Yeah. So it's like that connection of looking at the person when you're talking to them has
Hmm.
become standard, and I think COVID helped to do that, right?
And it's just like some of this is generational going to smartphone, but you know, even with our age difference, you ask, to hold up a phone, we're gonna hold up a phone. Now you ask a kid now, like, hey, what's hold up a phone in there? Because even now, I mean, people my age do it too. It's not just the kids, but like you say, hey, you're gonna call somebody. They don't say I'm gonna call them. Say I'm gonna FaceTime them.
Right.
You instantly pull up and go straight to a video call. It's the habitual
My
norm now. Just
my
change
26-year-old
everything.
daughter doesn't even know how to use the phone without it being on FaceTime. I'm like, she
Mm-hmm.
knows I'm like at work. She's constantly she FaceTimes me every time she calls. I'm like, I can't always answer a FaceTime call, just so you
Right.
know. Like, can you just text me first or call me like a normal person?
I'm the same way. I got some people that every time they call, they got my number, but they'll video call on Facebook or Messenger or something, and it's like I can't answer this because of where I'm at, but shoot me a text or call me. I can do that,
Right. Yeah.
but there's different
Yeah. When
ways.
I'm busy at work, I just prefer to text most of the time. It's just easier.
And personally, I text a lot of people just because I'm a night shifter, so I'm up when most people are asleep. So most of my conversations end up stretching through several hours waiting for people to wake back up. So,
Yeah. That way you just leave a text there and they can answer it when they're
yep,
awake or whatever their schedule is, right?
yep, exactly.
That makes sense.
But I'm glad we did this cigar though, man.
Yeah. I tell you what, it's gotten me thinking about digging in my bottom drawer where I know where all this stuff is and pulling another one out for later tonight.
Right?
Trying one of the other ones.
Yeah.
Well, you said you mentioned how they made it through COVID. Part of the reason they made it was they use good tobacco.
Oh, for
Um,
sure.
a product that doesn't stand up would not have made it. Um, so, especially in that space, there was a lot of competition during that time too, because there were a lot of new brands that started up then. I think this being a good example of that,
Yep.
and not even just then, but like then and then 21, 22. Um, so I think if you don't have good product, it's not going to hold up. I'm sure a lot of those companies are already out of business, but
And that's similar to what we learned with Fortaleza Libre. Is he's 5 6 years now, so that's I think he's right at 5. So he pretty much the same thing. Got their wheels rolling in the middle of COVID. So if you take the time and the passion to create a product that's going to be well done and be of good quality, like you said, it's going to push through better than a product that doesn't.
yeah, the problem he had was he didn't have any online presence when he first started. Where
Right.
I'm not sure, but I'm guessing that Marto probably propped him right up right away, which probably helped him.
I'd imagine
Have
so.
have some online presence at least, get the word out. People try it. Heck, he's probably throwing in samples like with boxes, like you throw in a free. I would have let him
I would
throw.
have too.
You know what I mean? Just to get the cigar in front of people.
Hmm.
That's what you have to do. Just give
And
them a free cigar.
yep. And that's how you learn about new things and end up getting hooked on something.
For sure. That's a Ronnie special right there.
Exactly.
Send you a box and send you two other obscure cigars you've never heard of that he
Yep.
carries. And hey, what are these? Oh, I like those. That's
Now I'm
how it
gonna go buy
happens.
a box.
That's what happens.
Yep.
Exactly. Yep. James does the same thing.
Yep.
He'll throw you. Sometimes he'll throw you an oddball, but usually what he does is he'll throw you one like if you're in a brand and then you don't get that particular one, he usually throws you the other blend or something
Right.
like that. But he sent me a Sinistro one time though. That was pretty good. That just completely off the wall.
Mm-hmm.
It was one of their anniversary sticks. It was really good.
I'm interested to try the last cigar of the month box I got from him had the Sinistro's Last Barbarian, which
Mm.
I've had some of their, but I haven't had the original release. I
But you sent me
have,
one of those, didn't you?
so I sent you the pre-release,
Okay.
which is the ones that Ellen won in that Mardo raffle that she didn't realize she won until they showed up.
Right.
And those were from the year before they actually released, and it has the band. They're a little bit shorter, and it just has the pre-release band on them, so they have extra age on them. So I'm
So is
interested to
that one
try
I'm
them.
supposed to smoke, or is that one that I was saving for a show?
I don't think we had it for a show.
All right. I might rip into that one too.
Because I don't think we've got Sinistro on the current standby list at all.
If we did one of those, we might want to do that anniversary stick.
Which yeah, we don't have any of the Sinistros in our pending list, but
What was
sure.
in the BL monthly this month?
So, oh, you know what? I already put it in my spreadsheet. So, uh, this one was switch tabs over here. The last one, which was the April box, you've got Room 101 15th anniversary,
Oh,
Sinistro's Last Barbarian, United Cigars Gold Star, that new one that dropped, Crown Heads Juarez, their Bulldozer LE, and
that's
then the
new
newer
too. Yeah.
company, Hermanos de Hermanos, or the HDA, is a Veiled Mutiny, which I don't know anything about that one yet. I've tried a couple of their basic blends that he's had in the box that are pretty good, but I don't know anything about this new one.
Have you smoked your 15th or no?
I have not.
Still resting?
Yep.
I'm curious to hear because I saw a couple people post on it, and somebody said it was the best one yet, which I can't believe.
I may.
This
I don't know when
13
I'm going to
was
smoke it yet,
so
honestly.
good. And I've heard 12 is good, but I haven't tried that. We have that set aside.
12th is
But
that's
14 is solid.
14 solid. I think that's because the 12th that's Ryan sent us that one, didn't he?
Yeah, it's got a green band.
Yep. I think
The
that's why
13th
it was such a good.
had the pink band, and that one, in my opinion, was the
It
best
was
one
okay.
I had. No, I like the 13th.
Oh,
The
you liked
13th
it
was
more.
money.
Okay.
The 14th is solid. That's the red band.
Yeah, I like the
And
14th.
it's good. I mean, but I think 13th was more in my wheelhouse at least. The 12th, I'm excited to smoke it and try it because compare it to the other. And I've had an 11th too, but not had the 15th yet.
Yeah, I'm not sure when I'm going to smoke it yet. We'll see if I've smoked it or not by the time this airs, because I'm not sure if I'm going to smoke it soon or hold on to it. Not sure if I want how long I want to let it rest or not. Since it is a
I
newer
love it.
blend, I'm not sure yet.
I love the color pattern on the band.
Oh yeah. Well, another good showdown, another good conversation, and sorry if you're anybody out there worried. We mentioned COVID again. Our apologies. Some people
It was
hate
a
hearing
long
about
time. It was a long time ago.
it. Was a long time ago. So, but this time we talked about it in a good light because you got a cigar company that pushed through, and here we are smoking their stuff 5 years later. So,
You know, as bad as it was, a lot of good things came from it. So,
yep,
like we kind of touched on, but a lot more of it was bad than good. But some good things came out of it. So,
yep. You got to push through and make the best of what you got, and that's what it did for us. So, but Jake Wyatt's company, y'all haven't tried it, give it a shot. Said the two we've referenced, they're obviously on Mardo now that we know that connection. And They a lot of them are on BL Luxury, so two good places to go try some Jake Wyatt stuff. We've smoked a few. This is the first one on the show. Good reference points, so go give it a shot and let us know what you think. But have another show coming up soon for you guys. As always, we've kind of gotten on this trend about every 7 to 10 days being able to put out some content for you. So we're doing our best to keep that show rolling so y'all have some conversation and smokes to watch and listen to. But until next time, hollow down fam. Y'all stay safe and hollow down.
The gang signs? I didn't know we were throwing up gang signs. You crinkle my fingers up.
Bullhorn.